Welcome to the Endless Summit Podcast.
You were quick with that one, dude.
Not wasting any time. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
Dude, just because we you and I just get into it so quickly when we're trying to catch up. So I figured, well, let's go. Let's get a hot start in, huh?
Bring that energy.
Let's keep it I'm gonna keep it moving forward.
Yeah. How was your week, man?
Dude, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sort of like how you were feeling earlier. I hate this glare above me, by the way. This is annoying. How you were bringing up earlier about like questioning your job transition a couple weeks ago. I'm at that moment now. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? It's killing me. Like I'm not regretting it yet, but I'm questioning it. It's tough, dude. It's exciting. I'm learning something new. But the coworkers are great, manager's great, like the company is great. It's just dealing with customers who lack patience and understanding and cooperation sometimes.
Growing pains, man. Like, it's expected. It's new to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, give yourself some grace, bro.
Well, I'm trying. I just feel bad, like I feel bad. Like I am giving myself grace. Like I said, I just feel helpless. And like the helpless part of me is what's eating at me. It's like, I wish I could answer these questions better. I wish I could help the customer better. Yeah. And it's just like trying to figure out, it's a giant jigsaw puzzle that I'm trying to put the pieces together,
I know, because me and you are a lot alike, but at the same time, do your best to reframe them and like talk about it in a way of like, yeah, this sucks. I wish I knew better. I wish this, whatever, right? Instead of that, it's like, this is helping me become that, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is going to help me become there, because if you let yourself think that way, then it's all learning and you're not going to get as frustrated. It's not going to take you as far down, right?
Yeah.
You can do this. I know you can.
I know I can.
But we are a lot alike. And when it gets negative, we're like, oh.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So that's, I'm maintaining the positive mindset in that front too. I think the volume and the troubleshooting of phones is what's getting me. It's like I have 35 people I'm taking accountability for, and that's 35 potential problems, and they all want something like ASAP. Like if there's an issue, they want it solved immediately, and I understand. And so it's like it's a learning curve, and it's like how to manage expectations from the get-go. So I'm changing the way I am presenting myself, because a lot of these people are expecting like me to hold their hand the entire time. And now I'm trying to bring more of that coaching aspect of like, look, this is going to be on your shoulders. And I haven't found the right words, like verbiage yet to use with them, but I'm trying to basically tell them like, hey, this is on you. I'm here to help make sure your fundamentals are set up. And then after that, you're moving on to another team. But between now and then, it's on you to learn this stuff. Like, we're here to help support you as much as possible. And I'm going to try to answer the questions as much as I can, but really it's on your shoulders to figure this out. My only goal is to make sure your stuff is integrated properly and your phones are connected and your numbers ported. Those 3 things are my priority. Everything else in between, it's on you to figure out. Like, and I'm trying to say that in a nice way, right? Like I'm trying to not shock the customer and make them feel like I'm leaving them high and dry, because that's not what we're doing. But I want to like motivate them to learn as much as possible. Like we go through, like during the first call, we go through, hey, here's like a training. So these are all the trainings that you should go through on your own time. And I'm being really passive about those. I'm like, oh yeah, just do it when you can. But I think I'm trying to be more enforcing and say like, get these done as soon as you can so you can learn this. Like this is priority to you. Instead of saying, do it in your own time when you can, like I'm not trying to be pushy. Now I'm going to be pushy and be like, no, this is priority. Get this shit done so you can understand it faster. And then we show them another link where it's a Weave help like website. So it's like a Google search bar. You type in anything that you might be having troubles with. You show them that and you tell them, hey, just type in whatever troubleshooting thing. And when I get to that point, they kind of look at me and like, what do you mean if I have troubles? You're going to have fucking troubles, dude. Like stuff's going to happen. It's technology. It's going to go wrong. You got to go to, here's a resource for you to help figure it out. And I tell them too, I'm like, here's the number. Here's a support line. You call this line here to help support. Here's a text box. Like I'm showing them all that. But of course, like it's going to go over most of their heads in the moment because it's a lot to learn at once. So this week it's been frustrating this week, and I'm not looking forward to next week. Like next week seems like it's going to be just as frustrating. However, the snowstorms in like the Midwest and East Coast might help out a little bit, like buy me some time to kind of catch up a bit.
Right.
But yeah, worked late Friday, and we had a really cool training. We had a really cool training on Thursday that I want to kind of talk to you about today after we talk about your week as well. But I took notes, and funny enough, it was like when the sales team came up, there's these two really cool sales guys that actually taught us a lot. They're like, hey, here's how you work with customers and like solving problems, but I just gotta get through this shit first.
Oh,
So
that'll be good, man.
yeah. So that was my week. I mean, it wasn't a bad week. It was just tough for work and stuff. And then Allison's been traveling a lot. She got back like late Thursday. Her birthday was Thursday night. So.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about y'all going out for a birthday. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. We went out last night, went to some new places, found a really good pizza. It's a Brazilian pizza place in Mill Creek. It was really affordable, really classy. Like it was a classy place inside. It's like a weird location though. It's like 3900 South and 200 East. But great dinner, and then went out some drinks. Union Station downtown across from Delta Center. They vamped it up. So last time I was there was in high school, and it used to be like an event center, and we had high school dances there. Now they turned it into a hotel. They put a bar in the Union Station. It's actually a nice bar, and they have a bunch of seating all over the place, very open. And then they have a speakeasy, quote unquote speakeasy. It's a speakeasy upstairs that overlooks event center space. So we went out and did that, and then she wanted to get together with our friends and have a brunch. So we had a brunch this afternoon and hot tubbing and stuff. But she was in Memphis all week until Thursday night for a work thing, and then tomorrow morning she flies out to Cincy. But with the weather, it's kind of unpredictable, so we don't know if she's actually flying or not because she's supposed to go to DC, and the layover in DC changed from like 1 hour to 6 hours or some shit like that. So. Yeah, she had a good birthday though. I think she had a good birthday. She seemed like she did. She was happy. Yeah,
you'll have to tell her I said happy birthday, man.
I will. Yeah, I'll tell her tonight. Yeah, I'll tell her after this. So, but yeah, that was the week. That was the week. How was yours?
I had my year-end review. My boss had like nothing but good things to say about me, just because I don't know if coworkers listen or not. Like financially, like I'm finally at the spot like what my goal was for like the last couple of years, right?
Heck yeah.
And so thank you, man. Like, so it was really cool to get there. Like I went and stopped by Rise on Friday. Yeah, Friday after I got off work. And I told my dad, I was like, crazy, huh? I was like, I changed jobs for 1 year and now I'm already at my goal. I was like, maybe I do work really hard. And so he was just like, yeah, good. Yeah, like it was just like, no, it's cool, And so that was like a nice part of the week, because obviously I gave you a little bit of like insight on Sunday just about like how tired I was and whatnot. And like, dude, I was shutting down. Like I went to the gym Monday and I was just like, dude, I am struggling. And so Tuesday I had therapy. And I talked to her about it, and I was like, I think I'm just going to get on a sleeping pill. And she was like, well, you just want the easy way out? And I was like, damn it.
Here we go.
Dude, she calls me on my shit just like I want. Like, that's my good. Therapist is fucking legit, dude.
Good.
And she called me on it, and she was like, nah, like this can be changed if we work on reframing your mindset. She was like, you have built this, like you go, and your brain never stops. And so she's like, and it's finally time for you to stop. You can't stop. And I was like, you're right. And so we talked about some things to try doing, and I've been trying to do them. And like, it was better. Like I was averaging like 4 hours of sleep, and Wednesday night and Thursday night. No, even Tuesday night, but my watch didn't record it. Like I got 6 hours, 6.5 hours. And like, dude, that's made a world of difference. Like that's what I need. And so that was good. And then Friday, like my girls, they're growing so damn fast. They needed like school clothes and just clothes in general. So we went out and did a little shopping and then went out to dinner. And my kids are like, Dad, can we go to Stack 571? And I'm like, hell yeah, we can. It's a whiskey, it's a burger, it's like a burger place and whiskey bar. It is so good, dude. It's in Mountain View Village. You should try it.
Yeah, okay.
But so we went there and had dinner, and then Saturday we had a basketball game. That was rough. Like we lost again, but like at the same time, our girls are learning a new offense and they're trying, but like it got down to like the last 6 minutes or something. And I was like, Nikki, I was like, it is time for you to lock in. I was like, don't let them score on you anymore. I was like, play defense like we've talked about you playing defense. And she's like, okay. And dude, she was just all over these people. Nice. And then she made a really nice shot, and we were down like 14-0 super fast.
Mm.
And so like the kids that are really new and still learning, like I sat them the majority of the game. They played like one girl maybe played like 3 or 4 minutes out of an 18-minute game. And her mom messaged me after. This is where it got a little hard, but then like it got good again because she messaged me just asking about, like, she was being transparent and totally like appropriate, right? Because she was like, hey, if she's not going to get time in the game, like, is it worth her staying? Like, I don't know if it's really worth it. Like, she's discouraged because she didn't play in a game. And so, dude, I wrote out this long message. Like, it is so long. Like, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show you real quick. I'm not going to show you the message. I'm just going to go through it real quick because, like, I don't want her to be on here. But, like, so this is the message from her. That's all from me.
Wow.
And
Nice.
so, but it's also because like I truly care, dude. So I wrote out this long ass message and I was like, I can't send this. This is like all over the place. So I threw it into ChatGPT and I was like, hey, can you clean this up and like just make it like to the point? Because like I want them to know like this message is from me, but I want it to be like more clear, not bouncing all over and stuff. And so ChatGPT just cleaned it up for me and I sent it over. But I basically like told her mom, I was like, hey, I don't think it's appropriate to take her off the team yet. Like, we love having her on the team, but with it being her first year, and also like her first year playing basketball, her first year in comp. She's a third grader playing up in a fourth and fifth grade division. It's like she's having a little bit of a harder time, like understanding the offense and defense, which is understandable and it's going to come. But I was like, you know, if I put her into a game when she doesn't understand and she has a hard time, that's going to be more discouraging than her sitting and watching. And I was like, a lot of parents seem to think that their kids have to have minutes in the game to really like understand the game and get used to it. But I was like, that's not the case. Like, you want your kid to be practicing with like for her, right? You want your kid to be practicing with these kids that are a little bit older. That way she can learn. And the more she practices, one day it's going to click. And then we're going to be able to put her in the game freely because she's going to know what's going on. It just hasn't clicked yet. She's getting better every single week, but like understanding offense and defense hasn't clicked. So like I tried to explain that to her and explain like, you know, practice is where development happens, where confidence happens and everything like that. And like my main concern is building the confidence and the like self-trust and enjoyment, right? And if I throw these kids in the game before they're not ready, because in fourth grade, like a lot of competition teams thrive on chaos. They don't play actual basketball. They want to put as many kids around the ball so your kid stops and freezes because it's like, what do I do? And then they just grab the ball for a jump ball turnover, right? And I was like, I don't want to do that to her, you know, because then she's going to be like, I'm not good at this or whatever. And I don't want her to ever feel that way. And so I told her that. And I told her, you know, like, if you want to get some extra time, like I go to the gym every Sunday with Nikki to work on basketball. She's more than welcome to join me to hopefully try to speed up that process. I also asked one of the parents to help coach me. That way there's two of us instead of just one. That way we can see more what's going on and be able to give more one-on-one direction. And so it's like, just be patient. Like, it's gonna come. Like, don't make that jump now. Like, don't take her out because what she's learning is awesome, you know. And so hopefully we'll see what she says back, you know. But I hope she doesn't. It was yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give her some time to think and process it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I hope she doesn't pull her because I know how frustrating it can be to like have your kid not playing and whatnot. Like, the whole reason you sign them up is to play in a game. But at the same time, being a parent and being a coach now and seeing this in a different way, it's like, hold on, time out. I know the games are important. Like, let's remember, these are 8-year-old girls, like 9-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls. Like, there's a lot of basketball. There's a lot of time left. Don't rush that process, because if you rush them just getting into a game, it doesn't mean that they're going to be a great basketball player down the line. And if she loves basketball, give it time right now to let her develop, like to let her understand. It gives her time to make mistakes where there's no pressure, right? And whatnot. And so let that happen, and, you know, and it'll come. But so that was a little hard because I don't want any player to ever feel like that. But then it was really cool because like after that, the rec center out here sent an email out about like registration. And dude, there were so many conversations with people about like having them come play football for me, their kids come play football for me. And it was just like, dude, let's go. Like, oh,
that's cool.
So yeah, man, like that was good. And yesterday we just chilled and hung out, and you know, my kids love wrestling, so we watched Saturday night main event, which was fun, and then we watched the UFC fights, me and my wife. And then today, I met with one of my clients. He's awesome. He gave me a hard time the whole time about the Seahawks and Rams game because I told him I want the Rams to win, and he's a huge Seahawks fan. So he gave me a hard time, and then I went and did basketball with Nikki, and then we went over to our in-laws and watched the Broncos game, and then we came home and just chilled. So it's been a good week, man.
Nice, good. I just Googled the score right now. It's 31-27 still with 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Yep, it's above your head, and the Seahawks have the ball.
Oh my goodness. Is it on their own yard line though?
Yeah, it's on their side of the field, so they still have a long ways to go, but the Rams drove it into like within the 10-yard line and didn't convert a fourth down and turned it over.
Oof.
But yeah, so everybody, we're gonna jump in.
The topic of the day.
Yeah, so it's who are we without this role? And by role, I mean life coach, mentor. We're just gonna talk a little bit. You know, we had our introduction where we sort of talked about who we are, but like this one, we're gonna dive a little bit more into like who we are, like who's Shane, who's Brett, you know what I mean? Like you guys know us as coaches and whatnot, but not really like outside of that and like what our life is, you know, a little bit based on, you know, when we talk about how our weeks went and whatnot. But we thought this week would be a good week to just go over who we are, give you guys a little bit more of a backstory and more understanding of like what a week looks like for us and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. And yeah, so I think with that, like, let's just start with you, Shane, and let's start with the meeting that you had this week. I mean, you wanted to bring it up, so let's just jump right into it.
The meeting.
Yeah, the sales part. Come on now, let's go. The training you had. This guy.
I did know. I brought it up first, and I actually had it ready to go. I was just like, wait a minute, what other meeting are you talking about?
Training, it's all the same thing.
Yeah,
okay,
same but different. Yeah, it was a day-long meeting. It was great though. It was fantastic. Okay, so some more because we did talk about ourselves like the first episode to kind of give some foundational information about who we are. And like my day-to-day is just a constant battle of establishing myself in a new environment, in a new place, and like trying to figure out what I want, right? So coaching, this is gonna be a revelation. This is gonna be new news to you too, because I have been like the thought of the week I was talking about last time too, is like every week I'm trying to think of something more deeply. And I forgot to text you on Monday to like remind you to do the same thing, but I'll text you tomorrow and make sure to remind you so that way.
No, we'll do it tonight. We'll talk about what we want to dive into, like before we end.
That's true. Okay, that would be a good one. So what I'm trying to figure out now, like my day to day is I don't do much coaching, right? I don't do actual sit down coaching with customers or clients. I'm trying to work on that, but at the same time, I'm still trying to figure out if this is my route. I'm constantly in a spin cycle that I put myself in. I throw myself in a dryer, I hit spin cycle, and I just fucking go. And it's only because I'm stuck on this thought of like, what's my actual purpose? Where am I at? And I'm coming to terms with my purpose isn't anything extravagant, and I'm coming to that acceptance. I've gone through the stages of grief, put it that way. Like there's the 5 stages of grief, and now I'm to the acceptance of that. I thought I was going to be somebody different. I'm not. And for a long time, I had to come to terms with it. And now I'm at terms. So it's like, is coaching actually my route? So here, not that we're doing anything currently that's against what I want to do with my life at the end, but is it coaching or is it speaking? So there's 2 elements to that. Do I actually want to coach people? And I think this week I was asking myself that question a lot of, okay, with my daily routine, am I setting myself up for success to be an actual coach? And right now, I have to be honest and say, no, I'm not setting myself up to be successful to be an actual coach. However, these podcasts that we do, is that setting me up for success to be something different? Yeah, I think so. I think it's in the speaking element, in the teaching element. Yeah, maybe down the road, if somebody wants me to mentor them, great. And in setting my own business, like learning how to build a business is a great experience and like learning experience and all of that. But as coaching, am I am I going to be a good fit to be a coach is what I'm kind of asking myself. So my upbringing has been leading me to this point where I thought that coaching was my calling. I wanted to be the guy that was out in the field, didn't want to be behind a desk. Now I'm feeling okay. I'm fucking 32 years old, which is still young, but I'm 32 and I feel like I should be more established. I'm looking at other people's careers where they figured out what they wanted early, which, good for them. And there's a lot of people who figure out what they thought they wanted early and they end up 180ing to something else. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, am I supposed to 180 right now? Like this is a crossroads essentially. Do I continue the coaching path and try to become a coach, or do I continue down another path, which is what I'm like talking about earlier about sales? Am I supposed to be a salesman? And not just a car salesman kind of personality, but an actual like salesman that actually makes a difference. Because I have these morals and like ethics in the back of my head of what kind of person I want to be if I am in the sales world. And I don't want to be seen as like that grimy sales guy that's desperate for a sale. Like I don't want to be seen as the guy who's trying to pull tricks over customers just to like, get them to buy in. And then they end up buying something that's not at all what they expected, So I have all of these things tugging at my heart saying like, you've avoided it for so long because you thought that sales was this thing that was toxic and dirty and grimy and, snake in the grass kind of thing. But now you're learning that, I'm talking to myself. Now that I'm learning that sales isn't like that, especially if you know how to do it right. In my mind, at least, like I've found some clarity recently that sales might be my career path. I just avoided it for so long because I misunderstood how to actually be a salesman because I've seen so many bad salespeople growing up and how they just manipulate. So I'm not that kind of person. Like I've established these like personal morals and ethics and like these grounds, these foundations that coaching seemed like the way to be because I wanted to help coach people in their foundations too, help them establish foundations in their lives, help them establish a discipline and the consistency and deal with consequences, how to navigate life. And that's where I was like, at a young age, I couldn't be that person because I had lack of life experience myself. So it's like, you can't really talk to people if you don't know what you're talking about. Now I'm at a point now, like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. How can I then make sure I'm running the right career path for myself? Because I don't want to be a coach that's like, yeah, I really want to be a coach because that's just what I want to do, right? I want to be a coach and actually feel like that's my purpose, and I want to feel like that's my calling. And if I become a coach, I still don't feel like it's my calling, which is where I'm at right now. Like, you want to be a coach because you thought that's what it is, but now you're realizing it's something different. I don't want to be that, right? I want to be, that's where I'm thinking like speaking and like this, the podcast. I love this podcast that we're creating. This is cool. Like, this is what I want to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean I have to coach people. I think that you and I having these conversations is great. It's helping people. And that's that's the ultimate impact I want to make. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to have a coaching business anymore because I thought that that's what the route needed me to take. What if I become a salesman and I'm a really like damn good salesman and we do this, we continue to do these podcasts and I no longer talk about coaching, but I talk about sales. Like, I'll end up talking about other things that are related to coaching. But that's where I'm at. So like my day-to-day right now is still navigating like, what's my path, trying to get through the fog, because I've been in this fog for such a long time. I kept questioning whether my degree was the right degree to go into, and the decisions I've made up until now were the right decisions. And the training we had on Thursday was awesome because it opened my eyes to, okay, like these are sales guys. They seem very genuine. It's not like the sales guys I've met in the past. They really are like, they want to help people. And this is a good company that helps small businesses develop and in sort of a communications aspect. It's very niche. And so that's where I want to throw my hat in the ring now and see, like, I've been avoiding the sales cycle or sales path for so long. It's like, okay, is this actually my calling? And not that any of this coaching experience has gone to waste at all either, because sales, so many motivational speakers have come from a sales background it's because of the rejection, the amount of rejection they've faced in their career has made them the person that's extra motivated, extra disciplined, extra committed. Like, there's so many qualities that they've developed because to be a successful salesman, they've had to go through these like really rough times, because you can't just sell a product off of good nature alone. Like, you got to have some skills behind, like people skills, obviously. And that's where I'm at now. It's like, okay, I have people skills, because we talked about this last Sunday. It's like, I don't have any hard skills like you do as a carpenter. So like, what assets do I have that I can fall back on that would make me a valuable person? And if I'm ever in a pinch, what else do I need to learn to get me out of that? So, to kind of go back to who I am, I'm always trying to learn something new. I'm trying to put myself in the best position possible. I'm like always trying to figure out like what I want most to really get that fulfillment and set myself up for success, because I feel like recently I've just been taking steps backwards, and I don't want to take steps backwards anymore. I want to get I want to get what I deserve, and also just make sure it aligns with who I am. So with the training that we went over on Thursday, we learned some really cool things that, one, maybe want to jump into the sales ring if that's how they are, if they seem that genuine and honest. But there's some skills that they taught us, some social skills they taught us about, like how you interact with people. So they gave us 3 steps. There's step 1, and they said it's friction signals. So friction signals essentially were like, what is preventing this individual from moving forward with a sell or like a product or like a solution, for instance, like coaching. And so maybe think of coaching. Like, again, I'm trying to apply everything to coaching too, because this is just what I've dove deep into. How does coaching provide solutions for the everyday individual? What tools do we have under our belt that would be solution oriented, and how do you ask the right questions? So the friction signals were like, okay, if people are resisting you as a person, whatever product, there's some friction there. They're not sure. They're very unsure about what this product's going to solve. And the underlying key like solution or sorry, not solution. The underlying key problem was like time and effort tax is what they called it. So you're putting a lot of time and a lot of effort into these problems that you don't have an exact solution for, but you're painstakingly working through them. And when you figure out these friction signals and the time and effort that's getting put into these the friction or like the challenges, there are workaround signals. So the workaround signals are compensating for a missing capability. So if you don't understand how to solve the problem, you're finding a workaround to that problem to get to the solution, but it's just taking extra time and extra effort to do that. So then the next signal was growth signals. So once you understand the friction, you understand the workaround, then there's growth. And that's where they said they want outcomes, not features. And this is where I'm like, again, coaching mindset. So in coaching mindset, you got friction. How am I going to be a better person? There's so many things that throughout my day, my schedule's a mess. Lack of knowledge, lack of experience. There's a lot of unknowns. So the workaround signals are they're compensating some way by or escaping, right? In coaching, there's a lot of people that you'll meet in therapy too. And this is where therapists will probably get a little upset, is that people are constantly escaping their situation and trying to find a workaround to their solutions or trying to work around their problems. So they're doing drugs, they're doing alcohol, they're doing whatever to escape the life that they're living. And then the growth signals, so they want outcomes, not features. So coaches give them the outcomes that they need in a different way than therapy does. And then they're not looking for the feature of it. So like as coaches, we can't sell ourselves as like, oh, we have the answers to your problem by doing X, Y, and Z. The coaches come into play by holding them accountable for X, Y, and Z more consistently. You can't just tell them like these are your answers and then walk away from it and say they're on their own now and they'll figure it out. You have to be, as a coach, you have to hold them accountable whether they like it or not. Whether they know it or not too. So like I was thinking about these, and then their last one that they have in this first step was risk signals. There's an urgency and emotional weight with their decision. So you look at the risk as like how soon are they willing to buy the solutions or follow through with what you're doing. And that's the risk is like, can I solve this problem right now? Or is this problem not yet solved? Or do I have enough experience to solve that problem? Again, thinking in a coaching mindset, do I have the coaching experience to really help navigate their situation in a positive way? Or am I not there yet and I'm at risk of losing them as a potential client, so on and so forth. So I thought that was really cool to like get that first step understood. And then the step 2, this will be a little bit faster. Step 2 had the golden rule. And it was one signal. So curiosity questions come first when at-risk customers bring something up. So if they're at risk of leaving, you got to be more curious. What's the next question you got to ask to really dig into the issue? How, like maybe the problem you're trying to solve or that they're trying to bring up to you, it's a bit foggy, but then you start asking clarifying questions, you realize, okay, the problem is actually solvable and I do have the experience for it. So you got to ask more curiosity questions. And then there was another thing that came up called the universal bridge question. Ask the quick question to understand. So again, you're just trying to dig until you realize you realize you are capable of helping this person, or you dig enough where you tell them like, okay, actually, I know so-and-so has more experience than I do. I'm gonna lead you this direction. Or we do have there's another solution in place. Like there's an app here that you can use, so on and so forth. So again, sales and coaching mindset there. The last step 3 was product aligned delivery. So solve the problem, seek problem patterns. I thought this was really interesting too. Like you as behavioral people, like as coaches and again, therapists, for those who are paying attention to people, there's behaviors that are elicited from these individuals that then lead you to kind of cue in on what's their issue. What are they waking up late because they're staying up late? Are they have shitty nutrition habits because, and this is why they feel like crap the entire time? Are they lack of focus? Are they lack of confidence? Like you look at the behavior behind the issue and then you realize, oh, this is where I need to, this is a pain point that we can solve. So I thought that was like a good kind of obvious thought because you obviously like you want to solve the problem as quick as possible. So you're picking up on the patterns because those patterns are what give you the key to the issues. And the last one in step 3 was how much time is spent catching up. So this is probably more relative to office environments, honestly. Like even maybe with coaches, we can kind of apply this in the coaching world too. But like with the time that is spent catching up, their underlying statement was when dealing with clutter and overwhelming options. So when you're overwhelmed, like I was this week, you fall behind. And then how much time am I going to spend now next week trying to catch up and get ahead of the amount of clients that I've got and issues and troubleshooting and stuff like that. And that's another thing you're trying to solve. Like as a coach, how much time is spent that like your potential clients are spending on trying to reorient their lives week over week, day over day, whatever issues going on. So like, I guess to kind of dig into more of me, like this is the kind of stuff I love paying attention to because how does it make me a better coach? How does it make me a better person? How can I apply this to my everyday role? How can I apply this to a potential client? And then now in sales, it's like, this is actually really cool. Like, it's really interesting to me. If this is how sales is, then why am I not trying this out? Why have I been avoiding it for so long? Right. And I again, I pointed out because I've been meeting terrible salespeople that have made me think that that's how sales is. But now that I've met some cool salespeople that seem like they're down to earth, they're wholesome, oriented, morally and ethically, then I could probably get along with them and I'd want to jump into that pool as well and see how I swim. The last point that stood out to me the most too was that you should produce more than you consume. And this goes for anything in any environment in any like structure. You should always be producing more than you consume to be this is of value. So if you want to be a valuable person, then your output is greater than your input. So I thought that was a great takeaway. And to bring it all home, this is stuff that I have been thinking about like basically my entire life of like, what's next for me? Where's my next path at? And not that I want to stop coaching entirely. It's just, is coaching actually my route? Or is it just speaking? And I love helping people. Like I do genuinely love helping people. I think what I'm trying to avoid is falling into this trap of like the endless cycle of meeting people that are always hopeless or helpless. Because as a coach, you got to draw a line somewhere. Like, yeah, I want to help everybody, but then I got to help people with where they're at. And if they're constantly hopeless or helpless, and when that learned helplessness kicks in, I'm then the person that gets frustrated and I no longer want to coach them or be around them. It's like, okay, I'm no longer a help to them. So it's like, how can I have the greatest impact as an individual and then at the same time reciprocate that back to my life? How can I be impacted in a positive way? And if sales now is that route to go, then that'd be cool. That'd be really awesome where I can do what I want to do and help people. I can coach people on a product and then I get the return back when they buy that product and however that plays out. So my day-to-day is constantly questioning all of this. I've got like 20 tabs open at the same time in my head and just cycling through, okay, which one am I on today? And what do I need to learn? How do I get better? What mindset do I need to shape? And it's been like that constantly since day one, like that I can remember, like high school, college. It's a never ending cycle. And that's where I think my therapist, which I need to go back to pretty soon, because now I got like my HSA and benefits fully enrolled this year. I need to go talk to him. And I know I was throwing him through a ringer with all the different topics of things that were going on in my head. It's like, okay, let me go back. Let's just sum it up now. Like, I think I've got a good handle on what I actually want to go with, like what route I want to go with my life. And hopefully it works out there because I'm tired of going backwards and feeling like wherever direction I am going, I'm just getting stuck. So yeah, that's the whole shtick. That's the spiel. That's mine. That's who I am, I guess, is just trying to understand where the hell I'm going next,
Yeah, for sure.
But what we learned on Thursday was really cool. I thought that was awesome to kind of like relate to that. And that enticed me more into sales too. If like this is what we're selling, then perfect. Let me learn these skills and then go from there and try to make a career out of it too. Because like coaching's great. I love coaching, but it's like, will I be a good coach? And again, you don't know until you try. And I haven't had any clients yet, so I'm gonna wait until I get clients to really make sure that I'm not just selling myself short and like pulling out of the game too soon. So
Right.
yeah.
Have you tried connecting with any life coaches out here?
No, I have not. Honestly, I have not. And it's mostly because honestly, it's the laziness out of it. Like I just haven't been motivated enough to actually reach out to anybody. So
I just wonder if that would help. Like if you could get with a life coach that's established, like how'd you get a client? What was your first route of like getting a client? That way you can experience it and be like, all right, this is for me or this isn't for me. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
that's what would
totally.
really tell you.
Yeah, and I should do that to get confirmation. Yeah, I had this weird epiphany too the other day of like me myself, like my personality. I'm like I'm rambunctious sometimes. Like I'm this guy that just kind of lives for the moment and I don't think that I'm at the level I should be at to be like a good life coach at the moment. I think that's where I'm pulling myself a little bit back. Again, love helping people. Like I love being that encourager, like helping people like solve problems and kind of digging into their personal life stuff. But I don't think I'm that grounded life coach for other people yet. I think I'm still trying to be that. I still want to be that kind of not rambunctious. I shouldn't say that. Like that's still a lively guy, you know. And I'm not ready to pull back on those reins yet in the moment because I feel like that's where like okay, so I can coach in sales, like coach people up and um still kind of hold on to that rambunctiousness in a way. So anyway, yeah, it was a strange week this week thinking about that and then thinking about, yeah, okay, who am I? Like, what am I capable of? What is my skill set? Where's my it factor? So
Right.
yeah, that's what it is for me and still trying to figure it out day to day. Also, I just saw the end of the game, Seattle made it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens now. The February
They
8th.
were the better team, man.
Yeah.
Just sucks because I think Matthew Stafford's done. So it's just like, damn it.
Yeah,
But
he's got one. It's okay. I'm glad he's got
but
one.
Seattle played so good, dude.
Yeah.
So can't be mad at it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good Super Bowl game.
Seattle's gonna stomp Patriots ass, bro.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, I saw a video just barely where before this started that the Patriots quarterback didn't know what to do with his trophy. He's like, where do I go now? You hang on to it, bud. So
he's still young.
Yeah, it's a good experience for him. Once he gets to the Super Bowl and whatever happens. It's got a growing experience for him.
Yep, for sure.
All right, man. What about you? What's your who are you?
Man,
what's your experience?
I go back and forth. So, like you've sort of commented, like most of my experience comes in carpentry, building cabinets, building booths, remodeling, that kind of stuff. So that's where a lot of my experience comes. And like, it's good to have that knowledge, but by no means do I love that, right? Like, I don't. I am a dad first, man.
Mhm.
I'm a dad. I'm a husband first. And it took me a while after becoming those to like actually get to that point because for the longest time I thought that like as a father you had to be a provider. And by provider, I meant like financial provider, right? And that just wasn't working. Like I'm sitting here making less than the average man to just recently making what like the average man in the United States makes to now getting to my goal, which is still like, it's not anything fantastic. It's not like great, like, like comfortable living now, whatever, like with the way things are right now in the world, like it's still like,
yeah, you never know.
A struggle, you know what I mean? And so I think for me, it's just turned into like, how could I do that, like truly love what I'm doing, like my job now, right? Like I like all my coworkers are great. It's a little stressful because I don't know as much and there's some other things that go into it, but because like it's my job, I'm going to keep that to me and because I need my job and I don't want anybody to take it wrong because like it's not a negative, right? Like I just literally talked to my boss about everything that I would say here, but it would be inappropriate for me to talk about it outside of work, right? And so there's just some struggles and it's like, all right, like how do I get past these struggles? But like I have found that being a coach is my thing, with me being burnt out and tired and just running on empty, like I'm running on pure freaking just drive, dude. Like I
Mhm.
don't have the rest and the whatnot to carry me in the most productive way. I feel
Mhm.
like I'm still being productive, but I could probably be more productive. And so I need to just focus on my sleep so I can do it in the most productive way, which I'm going to start doing because talking to Marquis this weekend, dude, there was a point where I asked her, I was like, can I work part time? Like, I would like to work part time and be able to coach and
Mhm.
not be tired. And she was like, nah, which I respect. We got a
Yeah,
family
yeah.
we got to take care of and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Like,
At least you
she's
asked the
thinking,
question.
yeah, she's thinking about like what's best for our family, where I'm being semi selfish, right? But I do, like I told her, I was like, I wish I could be paid to be a coach full time. That's what I want to do. I love working with people. I love being around people and I love working with kids, man.
Mhm.
Like if I could be a full-time coach with kids, that would be the dream.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's just about it's figuring out how do I do that, right? Because I'm a volunteer coach for a club basketball team. I'm a volunteer rec coach for flag football and for soccer. I would say 90% of the feedback that I get is really positive about my coaching style.
Mhm.
It seems like people want to keep their kids with me.
Good.
And so that's awesome. But it's like, how do you make that a year round job? And that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, how do I do that or how do I influence that? Right.
Mhm.
And I think for me, I've been focused a lot on this like personal training part because I feel like that's the easiest way to get my foot in the door. And it
Yeah.
has been. Obviously, I already have clients for it, right? And I love it. Like my client that I see like every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, me and him meet. I love working with him. I would never stop working with him. He would have to tell me he doesn't want to work with me. But if that never comes, I will work with him till the day I die.
Yeah.
Like that's how much I like working with this guy. It's more than just client and trainer, right? Like
Mhm.
there's a friendship that's there, there's a respect that's there, and I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um, but man, there is something different about coaching kids. Like when I was talking to all these parents on last night about football and whatnot and how they want me to coach, and then I have other people saying, go to coach tackle football. And it's like, do you know my schedule already? If I try to put tackle football, flag football, soccer, and basketball in there, like I have no time for my family or myself. As much as I would love to, no way. But it's just like, how do I realistically turn it into something? Because over the summer, over like spring, summer, and fall, I feel like I could truly make a business. I was talking to my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law today about taxes and whatnot, because, the very first
Yeah.
year of my company so far, like I was negative, right? I
Mhm.
was investing into my business. It was overall negative. So, like taxes, I probably won't have to pay any taxes or anything like that because my business made no money. But I was like, this year, like, it'll be profitable. There's no way that I'm not profitable. But it's like, how do you take it that step further while still having a full time job? Because over the summer, I have my camps, I have my groups, I have my one on one trainings that I'm going to be doing. And so that'll work. And, coaching basketball and coaching football is sort of like my free advertisement, right? Like, because when I coach, I wear my Elevate stuff. So it's like if you want extra work with your kid to help them excel in here, like, let's talk. And me and my father-in-law were talking about it today because I had a high school, he's going to be a sophomore. Well, he's still a freshman. Next year he'll be a sophomore, but he reached out to me saying like he really wants to take football more seriously. And if I remember correctly, he's a wide receiver and like a DB.
Mhm.
And so I wouldn't be like a position specific coach, but it would be more of mental training, strength training, conditioning training, and then just athletic training in general. And so I explained to him like what kind of coaching I do. And he was like, I'll talk to my mom because his little brother plays for me. And he was like, I'll talk to my mom because I really want to take football seriously and whatnot. And it's just like, man, for a second, I got really excited because it's like, this is a big opportunity. Like, if I could show he gets mentally stronger and then like that portrays onto the field, and they're like, how did you learn this? Where did you learn this? I worked with so and so, over the off season. It's like all right, now you got these kids coming, right? And so it was like, oh my gosh, like I hope this works out, and like that would help me get to my dream. But I think because I'm trying to build this from the ground up, it's sort of like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And so, like, one of the ways is everybody knows I have a daughter who plays flag football. And in Utah's a little bit behind for female sports. They do have a girls' tackle football league, which is pretty cool. And obviously, there's basketball, but for younger kids, such as my daughter's age, like, it's really hard to find consistent teams to play against. Like, there's not enough girls, and I don't know why. But like, so Utah Jazz created a Bantam basketball league for youth, right? There were no teams at my daughter's age group for girls. Like, how does that make sense? And so it's just like, how can I help grow opportunities for girls in the state of Utah? Because like I have a buddy that I used to play flag football with every single weekend. He moved down to Arizona. He's a head coach of a high school girls flag football team. And, like I'm pretty sure like Colorado now has flag football for girls in high school and stuff. And I think like New Mexico, California, like these other states around us have it and we don't. And so it was like, I've really been looking into like, how do I create, like my other pathway of this is how do I create a league underneath Elevate to give these kids opportunities? And my first goal would be to create it for girls. Boys have enough routes. I would love to create one for boys, but my main focus is girls and then adding boys. But doing a competitive flag football league for like U10 to U18, right? Like last week, it was just announced that, women's flag football is going to become a part of D1 schools. There's this chick, I can't remember her last name, but her first name's McKenna. She was the very first girl to receive a D1 scholarship for flag football through Nebraska. And so it's like, it's growing, it's there. So how do I create the opportunity so that these girls in Utah can get some recognition too? Because some of them love football, but they stop playing because there's no route. And then they go to basketball or they go to these other sports that are super saturated, right? And it's going to be harder to play at that next level. And so it's like, how do I create this route to give these girls this option for their future? And like the goal right now is, right, like I want to get 6 teams that are like U10, U11, U12. If I had 6 teams in each division, I will have enough teams to be able to create the league and then run a league and see how it goes. And then after that, that would hopefully open word of mouth so that next year maybe we have a U14 or a U13, 14, 15, right? And we have 6 teams, or maybe it's 8 teams, but we have enough to create a league and then have like a tournament style, like championship, right? Where they get a trophy, they get everything for winning a championship. And then once that's big enough now, all right, let's add a boys section, right? Like, because not all boys want to go play tackle football. Some kids, they love football. They don't like getting hit. That's okay. So how do I give them that route too, right? And so I've just been looking into that. Like I reached out to this guy in Oklahoma City.
Wow.
On Instagram, I just was like, girls flag football leagues. And his page had the most followers and was like the most active. So I reached out to him or her, whoever it may be. And I was like, hey, like, would you be willing to answer a couple of questions? Like, I'm from Utah. I'm trying to start this, and seeing your page and seeing what you've done, I'd just like to pick your brain and see, if there's something I can learn from you to be able to get this started. Got right back to me, said he was willing to talk, and we scheduled the time to call, and that's when like my body shut down, dude.
Oh, no.
And so I never called. I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow because he was super responsive. So I'm gonna reach out tomorrow and I'm just gonna explain to him like, hey man, I had a lot of stuff come up last week. I apologize for not calling. Can we schedule one this week? Because he seemed really Tuesday or Wednesday. But just let him know like, hey, I have a lot going on my plate and I apologize. I got overwhelmed and I just like sort of cut myself off from everything. That wasn't a like prime responsibility, and hopefully he's understanding and we can have another conversation because I would love to pick his brain. Like I sent him this message and he's like, this would be better for a phone call.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that I can connect with him because that would be a route to help me accomplish what I want to accomplish. Because, like, when I'm thinking about this league, everything I'm doing is to keep it affordable for all kids. Because I know a lot of parents that will like go for broke to give their kids opportunities. And I don't feel like that's necessary. You know, like you could be a great coach and you deserve as much as you believe, you know, especially if you get the results. But at the same time, it's like, why don't we cut that down a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're kids, man. Why don't we just help them have a better future? And that's sort of where I'm at. So, you know, I'm jumping back and forth, but like with this high school kid that reached out to me, my father-in-law was talking to me about it, and I was like, dude, there's like trainers for football that'll charge you like $1,000 a month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to train your kid so they get better at football. And I was like, you know, I'm very confident in my skills to make him a better athlete and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would probably only charge you $200 a month, and I would meet with you once a week, and I would create you a program to follow, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm there to support you whenever. But I don't want your parents to drown to try to give you everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want them to
Yeah.
be able to maintain the lifestyle and still help you get to your goals. And it's sort of the same thing with this league where it's like looked at a nonprofit, and when I saw how much would have to go into a nonprofit, I was like, fuck that. Nope, not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I'm not gonna lie, there's a selfish part of it, right? Like when you do a nonprofit, there's no ownership. I want to own it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to build this for somebody
Mm-hmm.
or for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like once I saw what goes into a nonprofit, I was like, nah, I'll run it through my business. It'll be like, you know, something and something flag football league powered by Elevate Youth Coaching. And what I would do is like the profit that I get from it, right? Like I would obviously take a cut for putting in all the work to get it running and doing all this, but I would take a smaller cut because I just want to do it, and I love it. But then like the other part would go into making sure that they always have good equipment and then scholarships. Like that way, if you have a kid that, you know, maybe his parents don't have or her parents don't have as much money as the rest of the parents, but their kid wants to play and he or she is good enough to play, why shouldn't they play? Like, all right, don't tell me what you make, but like, how could this help you? Why would it help you?
Feel it. Yeah.
I'm going to read it. Okay. Hey, I'm covering his fees to play this season. You know what I mean? Or her fees to play this season. And you do that for so many kids so they have the opportunity to play. And I think that's a lot of where my coaching is going is like I want to do this for my job, but I will always keep my pricing affordable. And I want to help these kids that, you know, maybe come from a background that isn't as financially stable. And I think a big thing that drives me with that is like when I played football, I didn't get to go to football camps. I didn't get to do any of that. Like how much better would I have been if I would have been able to have a trainer? How much better would I have been if I would have been able to go to these camps and all this stuff? But my family couldn't afford it. No way. And so it's like, nah, I don't believe in that, you know, and I know some people will be like, oh, well, this kid's so good, we'll help him get through these. Nah, what about the kid that maybe isn't that good, but if he had the training, he could be that good. You know what I mean? Like, I want to help those kids. I want to help all the kids out, but I really want to help those kids out. So I think with this whole process since May of building the business and what I've just learned a lot about myself and what I want, right? Like, there was so much of my life where it was like, I don't know what I want. I just want to make money. I want to be able to live. I want to have a nice car. I want to have a house, and I want to have this. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm more comfortable. And a lot of it comes like I'm almost 40 and I don't own a house. Like, what the hell? But then now it's like I sit back and I think about it, and it's like, not everybody that's 40 owns a house, Brett. Like, chill out, bro. You can still have a great life without owning a house. And honestly, with the bullshit of how much a house costs, like,
dude, HOA fees alone scare me from owning a house.
Well, HOA fees aren't on every house, but like the thing that scares me, I have 2 kids. I'm trying to support them in what they want to do and what they want to attempt, right? While still trying to give them a life, like going on a vacation, doing these things. And it's like, So I don't have just like 50K in my savings to put down on a house, right? Or more. And so it's like I would have, since we haven't bought a house, we would have the opportunity for like an FHA, first time home buyers. But you're looking at $3,500 to $1,000 a month in mortgage. Okay. Are you serious? So you would literally have to make roughly, what is it, like 100K? Because like you would need to make double. So you would need to alone make 100K with no other bills, no other responsibilities, just to make that payment and make sure you're comfortable.
Like
Oh,
what? Like
and then you
what?
need a car.
Yeah.
Your spouse needs a car. All your
Those,
utilities,
the utilities.
taxes,
Yeah.
gas,
Yeah.
your kids' stuff, right? Like, so it's just like, dude, like, I don't know. So I think just with this whole process, it's helped me understand myself a little bit and what I'm wanting, where it's just like, I want to provide my kids the best life that I can. And for the longest time, there was a part of me that was like, you have to own a house, you have to have a nice car, you have to have this, right? And it's like, no, you don't. Like, we love the place that we live in. My kids want a backyard. So we talked to them today because there may be an opportunity in like a year and a half, not to buy a house, but to get us in a position where everybody's happy. So me and the wife talked about it today, and like, we're going to re-sign our lease for one more year. And then it'll be up in like July or June of 2027. And then there's an opportunity for a house where there's no, like, you have to be out in a few years. I may sell it, like they won't ever sell the house. So it would just be rent, but we would have a backyard, we would have a house, we'd have a place to have people over, you know what I mean? Sort of have a place to call our own for a while. And I've just realized that like time and experiences with my family is what matters most to me. And I may have not done everything right, sort of like you were talking, where it's like everybody seems to have it figured out. My wife's a prime example, man. This woman has had it figured out since she was like 20, 19, whatever, like my wife, I think she can correct me if I'm wrong, but she graduated high school and got her diploma, but at like the same exact time got her associate's degree. Then she went to the U, got her bachelor's, and I think she took like a year or two off or something like that. And that's when we met. And then she went back to get her master's. And the whole time it's been the same thing. Like she never swayed and was like, I'm gonna switch my major. I'm gonna do, not like, she had it figured out. She knew what she wanted to do. Then she does it and she's a fucking rock star. She'll never listen to me. She's the best therapist in the state of Utah. I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue with you till the death on that. And maybe I'm semi-biased because it's my wife, but also, you know what? She has therapized me. My wife is the best female therapist in the state of Utah.
Yeah.
She's the best therapist. She'll beat the males too.
Yeah.
And so it's like she's had it figured out since day one, right? And she is so successful, dude, and so amazing. And then I'm over here like, what the fuck's going on? I'm going to try this now, babe. Like, I'm done with this place. I'm going to go over here and try. I'm just trying to figure out how to be happy. And I think now it's like, I'm good where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I understand I got to do what I do. There isn't so much resentment towards my job anymore. It's like, no, like, it's okay. Like, this is what I got to do. A part of me does enjoy it, or I wouldn't do it, right? And so it's like, it's okay to be in that spot where I think for a long time I was like, it's not okay to be there. You know what I mean? Like, you have to continue to change until you find what you love. And I think maybe part of what has helped me come to that conclusion is I love coaching. And right now, like, coaching for me is something that's voluntary. And so as long as I can have that in my life, it makes my job okay. Hope maybe one day a paid coaching position comes available or my business takes off and I can do that. But for right now, since I have that in my life in some kind of way, and I still have so much time with my family, like, I'm good. So I went on a whole spiel there, like, geez.
Oh, you're good, dude.
But I think that's like who I am in a nutshell, man. Like, everybody that knows me knows that I am a coach, man.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, like, I know parents, they call me coach. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's nice to finally know what your calling is outside of family. Because like, it's easy when it's family, right? But it's like, outside of family, what's my identity?
Right. Yeah.
And I think I figured that out finally. And it's
Good.
like, this is really cool, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm sorry that was so
No,
long.
you're good. Don't apologize. You're good.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think I finally figured it out. Almost 40, bro. Look at all this gray. It took me
I
that
don't
long,
see
but we
anything.
got there.
I don't know if it's a filter behind you, but I don't see any gray on you.
Oh, trust me, dude. Look,
No,
it's really bad if you're looking up.
I think the filter's helping you a ton. I think it's helping you get those grays hidden there.
Well, then I'm gonna keep this filter always.
Yeah.
Every time we meet.
It's because you got a gray background, like that fog behind you is helping hide the grays more in your beard.
Good. Nobody needs to see that.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to start Just for Men in real soon.
That's awesome. No, good for you, dude. I'm glad you found your calling. Like, and that's where I want to believe that like coaching was my calling too, but at the same time, there's something else tugging at my heart of like, no, coaching was the path for a minute. Like, you were supposed to walk down this path for a reason, right? But then like this next thing that I want to jump into might be it. Because like, yeah, my identity too. If I'm questioning, who the hell am I? Like, I want to be really good at something. I think ultimately that's why I'm trying to dig so deep is like, I want to commit myself 110% to something that I want to be great at, right? And I know that like being great at something comes with time and effort, and not wasted time and effort, but like actual committed time and effort. And that's where I want to, that's where I want to make sure that it's not wasted. So I'm glad that you found it. Like you're finally into what you're into. Like, and you've talked about this for a while. You and I have talked about this one-on-one since we were hanging out at Rise. You know, you knew this was your calling. It was just the steps. It was just baby steps to get to this point. Which, hey man, it's awesome that you're here, and now you're thinking, okay, what's the next step? Which is great. You're not still sitting at a desk being like, I can't take the first step. I don't know what I'm doing. You are taking those steps and you're moving forward in a great way. And now you're thinking of freaking like you're contemplating nonprofits, which I'm sure never came across your mind last year. You're just trying to like, how do I become a coach? And now you're thinking like, okay, ownership, right? Like you're figuring out what a nonprofit does compared to what an actual private business does. And then you're figuring it out. And it's awesome to see that.
Thanks, man.
And I mean, we're both figuring it out. I'm just glad
man.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you're at where you want to be at, you know?
I have a 5-year head start on you, bro. 5-6 years. You got time. Trust me, your beard ain't gray yet, okay?
Dude, I'm finding grays popping up left and right. Stress from just not getting it figured out now is starting to catch up to me.
Well, dude, and another thing, like really quick.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about this. This has nothing to do with me, but it was an experience I had this morning that made me feel, I don't know, man. I had a reaction to this and it was like a positive reaction, but I know this guy that goes to the gym. His name is Mike and I don't see him there every day. Like this is very sporadic. I'll see him for a few weeks in a row, maybe one day a week, right? And then I'll go a month without seeing him, then I'll see him again. And we've always just talked, man. And he's he's a little bit older than me. He used to play basketball overseas and he's like just as tall as me, just this really cool, amazing dude, man. And so I saw him this morning and I was like, I got to walk over and say hi. I haven't seen this dude in like a month. So I walk over and he was like, oh shit. And dude, he just gives me this big hug and like, he's the same size as me. So it's like trying to get around him, you know? But we're sitting there talking, man, and I'm like, how's life? How are you, man? And he's like, I'm really good, you know, and I hope this doesn't, but like he found out that his wife, his fiance is pregnant. And so he's really pumped about that. He's having a girl. And I was like, and he's like, I have 3 girls. And I'm like, dude, I have 2, you know, cause like we've only met briefly and talked a little bit, but there's just this connection, right? And so today we learned a little bit about each other. He knows that I'm a girl dad. He's a girl dad. And so we talked about that a little bit. And I was like, dude, I wouldn't change it for the world. I was like, dude, my girl's out here playing flag football against all the boys, schooling them. Like, I love being a girl dad. And he was like, dude, he was like, you know, I was running around in the streets and whatnot. And he was like, I just didn't have the greatest head on my shoulder. He was like, I feel like having girls really taught me to have that empathy and become more empathetic. And I was like, dude, I totally understand. Like I've become, since having girls, like I've become more grounded. I've become more patient, more empathetic. And I was like, that's what I needed. I was like, you know, when I was younger, I wasn't much different. I'm running around in the streets, fighting, doing other stuff, not being smart. And I was like, but you know, and he sort of like tried to really come down on himself. And I'm like, nah, time out, man. Like you don't do that. You're human. You know, we're human, we make mistakes, but I was like, look at the man you are now. I was like, I'm proud I get to know you and meet you. I was like, I love that I get to have a conversation with you. you're a human being. And I was like, you're a great human being. And dude, just seeing him, from my perspective, it doesn't seem like he's had, and if he ever hears this, I hope he understands that this is all respectful because I really fucking love this dude. But it seems like he didn't have so much of that in his life, right? Or maybe he's not used to it. And so seeing him like have a reaction to like me communicating like true feelings towards him about like you're an amazing human being, right? And you're a great father, like this kind of stuff, dude. Like I love having those connections. And so it was just, I just had to talk about it. I mean, we're talking about coaching, we're talking about connections, we're talking about people. Like, dude, that shit lit my morning up. I was ready to go all day because that was like essentially my first interaction of the whole day was just running into him. And it was just this positive, like building each other up. Like he said, man, you're looking big as hell. And I was like, he's like, nah, and I'm like, I know, I'm just messing with you. But dude, it was really cool. So it's really nice to have those connections, and I don't know, man. It's like having the talks with you, like you being able to open up today about like what's going on. Like I really appreciate having those sort of like heartfelt conversations that you may not have with every single person, right? Where you're letting people in a little bit more. And I think it's a really good example for us being able to do that because it shows other men like, yo, you can talk about what's going on, man. You don't have to hold it all in, like talk about it. And so I don't know, just with what you were saying, and then that popped in my head, man. I just really like today.
Yeah, no, today's been a good day.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for this guy. Like,
yeah, we're both happy for you too.
I appreciate it.
Even though I don't know the other guy, I'm sure he's happy. I'm happy. All right, right on.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I got anything else. I'm like out of breath. I talk too much. Yo, let me get a pen and paper though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Because you got to tell me what this thing is. Well, explain it to me a little bit. Explain it to who we're talking to. That way they understand it when we do it next week. But I will write it down and I will look into it this week.
No, it's like I talked about it last Sunday. So it's just the thought of the week. So basically you're going to pick a topic that you want to think more deeply about for the week and how it like resonates with you. If any like epiphanies come to mind, like ideas or questions, even like if it makes you more curious about something, like it seems like every week there's always something on the forefront of my mind that I need to dig into just for myself or whatever the topic is at hand.
Okay.
So essentially it's whatever topic you want to think about. So you can think about the girls flag football programs. And at the end of the conversation, we basically talk about like what you learned and if there's anything that came to mind or like it could be anything, honestly. So that way we can educate each other more on like action steps or action items and whatnot. So like this week, my goal is to like think more about my organization and processes and stuff like that. Like that's what my main focus is going to be on, is like thinking about how can I be a better employee and like better to myself too. So I'm not always running into these issues that I'm running into, and then talking about like if I found any solutions to those issues.
I like that, man. So I just wrote down mine. So I'm gonna look more into this flag football league setup. I'm gonna call the guy from OKC.
There you go.
Try to really connect with him, and then I think I'm gonna do some research, maybe look into chat a little bit, see if there's any videos out there or like any other pages that I can find of like how do you set up a successful league, right? Like how do you create one that creates opportunity for kids? So I think that's what I'm going to look into this week. That's really on the forefront of my mind, and like how do I create this opportunity for kids? So
yeah, and next Sunday tell me all about it.
I will, man. You tell me all about yours.
I will, absolutely.
I think that's a good place to close. It's 8:30 and my ass is tired.
Yep, I gotta go upstairs.
All right, you guys. Well, y'all have a great week, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah, see you guys.